Okay, good afternoon and welcome everyone to another episode of College and Career Pathways, where every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. we provide you with information on various colleges and universities, financial aid resources, training programs, technical schools, skilled trade professions, career exploration, employment opportunities, and career readiness skills, all designed to help you make the best career decisions possible. I'm Tony Curtin, your host, and today we are speaking with Angela from Schoolcraft College. How are you today, Angela? Welcome. We are so glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I appreciate it.
Good deal. Good deal. You can go ahead and get started.
All right, let me share my screen here, guys. And let's see, what's it want me to do? Well, that's not what I wanted to show you. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Give me just a quick minute to find out where my presentation is. Oh dear, I think I exited out of it. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's
Give me just
okay.
a quick minute. Quick minute. I promise we'll just. I gotta pull up that screen again.
That's okay.
My session expired while I was chit chatting, so that's what I get. That's what I get for trying to be prepared and having it pulled up early. Now here we go. Okay, so now can you all see that?
We cannot.
Oh dear. Okay. Wonder why that would be.
Hit share again.
Share screen. How about that?
There you go.
Okay.
Yay.
Guys, thanks for your patience.
No
This is always
problem.
my biggest concern is making sure that we can get the technology to work correctly. So once again, I'm Angela Ackman. I'm an admissions representative at Schoolcraft. Schoolcraft is a community college. We're located in Livonia, really easy to get to, a very centralized location right off of 275. We're just a little bit north of 96, so pretty easy to get to us or from us from just about anywhere in Metro Detroit. And we do have students from all over the area for sure. As a community college, our mission is to serve our community, to make education as accessible to as many people as possible. So for that reason, there is no minimum GPA, no minimum test score. Everyone is welcome at Schoolcraft. There's a home for everybody on our campus. We are a campus of about 10,000 students, a little bit lower right now with the dip in enrollment across the country. But when you're in your classroom, our average class size is just 17 students. And I think that that's really important to know because you kind of get the best of both worlds in that situation. So when you're on our campus, when you're walking across the quad or attending an event, you're going to be seeing all kinds of new faces and meeting new people with that campus of 10,000. But then when you get into that classroom and there's just 17 other students, you're really going to get to know your instructors very well. They're going to know you by name. You're going to be able to raise your hand. You're going to be able to ask the questions. You're going to be able to debate and have a conversation with your fellow classmates. So it's a really nice way to learn, and it's something that we think is really important to maintain at Schoolcraft. So none of those large lecture halls that you hear stories about, we simply don't even have them. So you won't have that at Schoolcraft. We are a campus that's pretty diverse. Even though most of our students are typically college age, we do have older students. We have students from all different ethnic backgrounds, races, religions, ages, socioeconomic backgrounds. So it's a really nice, diverse campus. Great way for our students to learn from each other. And I think that you'll find the more opportunities you have for that, the more you understand how important that is. We are a campus with over 130 academic programs. I already told you about our main location, really super easy to get to, but we also have a public safety training complex. which is where our police and fire academies are located. We have our Radcliffe Center in Garden City, which serves as sort of a satellite campus in Garden City, which is a little bit further south from Livonia. And then finally, our brand new Manufacturing and Engineering Center, which is in Livonia, just south of 96, right around Merriman. That's a brand new facility for all of our manufacturing programs, welding, plastics, all of those sorts of programs are housed in that Manufacturing and Engineering Center. We tripled the size of that space from what we had prior, doubled the size of our welding program. So you may have heard those kinds of those fields are kind of bustling right now. There's a lot of growth opportunity, a lot of employment opportunity in those fields. And so that's one of the ways that we're addressing that need is by opening that new facility. We do have a few new programs that I just want to promote really quickly for you. I already mentioned the Manufacturing and Engineering Center. We've also added a real estate property management program, a supply chain management program. We've opened the new Mercy Elite Sports Center on our campus, which is physical therapy and athletic training, and those sorts of programs will be located in that facility. St. Joe's has just opened a ambulatory care facility, so they're going to be doing outpatient surgeries on our campus. There's an actual hospital located on our campus now, St. Joe's. It's opening up any day now. So it's a great opportunity for our students to get some hands-on learning opportunities and internships. And then we're opening a brand new health science center to go along with that, which is going to increase the size of our nursing programs, our EMT programs, our medical coding programs. And then we've also added a radiology technician program and a sonography program. So lots of new things happening at Schoolcraft. We're very excited about those. And that's just kind of par for the course with Schoolcraft. We're always looking, like I said, we're here to serve our community. So we're always looking to see what programs our community needs in terms of employers and in terms of our students. So those are some of the exciting things going on right now. One of the things that I always want our students to know is that we are the #1 community college in the state for return on investment. So that means that of all the community colleges in the state, Schoolcraft has the best showing of the amount of money that our students earn over the course of their lifetime compared to what they've invested into their education, so as opposed to what the cost is. And one of the ways that we are able to maintain that year after year is by making sure that our students get the best support that they can get while they're on our campus. So there are a lot of pieces in place to make sure that you are successful as a student at Schoolcraft. We have a wonderful on-campus learning center. They do free tutoring both online and in person. There's a writing center that will help you with your writing for any papers or research papers or essays, those sorts of things. They're there to help you with that. There are academic success coaches who help you with your time management and with your learning styles and study tips and study strategies. So just a lot of things in place to really make sure that, that you can be successful as a student. One of the things that I always want to point out too is that the most successful students are the ones who take advantage of their resources. And I'm sure that you're hearing this from your teachers and from your counselors, but the further you go on in your education, certainly at the college level, your success is going to be all about you and what you do and what you take advantage of. There's less of people saying, hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to turn in this paper. It's more of you saying, you know what, this is my opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of everything that I can and everything at my fingertips to make sure that I'm successful. So whether you go to Schoolcraft or whether you head somewhere else, just know, just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Oh, that Angela woman from Schoolcraft told me I should be thinking about what support I can get while I'm on my campus. We also have a great career center to help you with internships, to help you with your resume, help you with your interviewing skills, and then a wonderful disability support services center too for students who have documented disabilities that need those extra support services. So with whatever your plan is at Schoolcraft, there's really kind of a place for you. I said before that we welcome everyone and there's pretty much a place for everyone to call home at Schoolcraft. So basically all of our programs can be boiled down into 2 separate camps. Whether you want to earn a degree right now or a certificate to get you into the workforce as soon as possible, or if you want to just establish yourself with your general education classes, your core classes that you will then use to transfer to another college or university. So many of our programs are designed to get you straight into the workforce. Those will be things like the manufacturing programs that I talked about, some of our medical programs, um, some of our computer programs, a whole host of opportunities that if you're sitting there and you're in a situation and you're thinking to yourself, oh, and our culinary program, I should mention that too. I know you all have the culinary program. But so if you're thinking to yourself, I don't think I can picture myself another 4 years of sitting in a desk and listening to a professor and going to school. Okay, it's not for everybody. There are programs that you can do at Schoolcraft that will get you to the workforce sooner and help you to get started earning a living sooner. What's nice about a lot of those programs, almost all of them, in fact, is that they're programs that you don't sit down at all. So, if you're somebody who really does not like sitting and learning and listening to a teacher all the time, it's just not a great fit for you right now. Some of those programs might be a good fit for you to kind of help you to find your passion and get out there and start earning a living at it. Also, all of those programs at Schoolcraft are stackable. And what we mean by that is that so let's say you want to do a certificate program that is only 2 semesters, 12 credit hours, something like that. And then you get out and you start working in the workforce. If you get out in the workforce and you say to yourself, you know what, that went pretty well. I really do like this. I want to be able to move up in my field. And to be able to move up in my field, I need a degree. You can then come back to Schoolcraft. All those credits continue to be accepted and continue to count toward a degree, count toward the associate's degree. And then you can take that and move that on to a 4-year program and stack on top of that to earn a bachelor's degree. So you haven't wasted any time or wasted any money in the process. Those are college credits that you have earned and that you will be able to build upon. And then, like I said, then the other parts of our programs are those that are designed to help you to transfer to another college or university after you leave us. So for whatever reason, if you're thinking you might want to start at a community college, and there are lots of reasons to do that, like saving money, starting out in those smaller class sizes that I talked about. Maybe you need to boost up your academic resume to show to the 4-year schools that you're capable of doing college level work. All those kinds of reasons are reasons to start at a community college. We have a lot of people who are involved in making sure that the credits that you take at Schoolcraft are going to transfer easily and seamlessly to a 4-year program so that you, again, aren't wasting any money or any time in that. These are just an example of what most of our students are doing, kind of the bulk of our students. First and foremost, right at the top is that liberal arts transfer. That's just simply a way of saying that students come to us and get started with those general education classes that they then transfer to just about any major or any 4-year school in the state or in the country for that matter. But then after that, you can see it gets pretty diverse. We have healthcare, business, criminal justice. There's our culinary arts program in there. So lots of different ways that students are completing their education at Schoolcraft or starting their education. A few things we want you to know about transferring. Like I said, there are a lot of people at Schoolcraft whose main goal is to make sure that the classes that you take here will transfer with you. And so first and foremost, we talk about that Michigan Transfer Agreement. Michigan Transfer Agreement basically is just, it looks a little scary here. I like to show it to you though, just so you see that it's a real document, right? That this is something that we put together every year. It's hammered out every year by all of the public colleges and universities in the state. Basically, all it is that all of us came together and said, we're all requiring the same thing of our students, regardless of what their major is. We all want them to have some English. We all want them to have some math, some social sciences. So let's make an agreement that we will accept those classes from one another and make the transfer process as easy as possible on the students in Michigan. So that's what the Michigan Transfer Agreement is. And every year we come together and we decide what classes it is that we will accept from one another. This happens to be the list of classes at Schoolcraft that meet that transfer agreement. for the year 2019 through 2020. And you don't have to worry. I know it can look a little intimidating. You will have an academic advisor at Schoolcraft whose job is to know this transfer agreement inside and out and to be able to help you with selecting the courses that will fulfill that transfer agreement. And you can choose to complete the entire agreement and then transfer that as a whole to a four-year school. And essentially what happens, let's say you complete that Michigan transfer agreement at Schoolcraft, transfer to Michigan State. When you get to Michigan State, they say, oh, you've completed that Michigan transfer agreement. Check all of your core classes, all of your general education classes have been met, and now you just work on your major. Or you can just choose to do a few classes at a time, a few classes and transfer those individually. That's a possibility as well. And then, I should say, but on top of the Michigan transfer agreement, there are also transfer agreements based on major, and then special agreements that are based on major that allow you to complete even more classes at Schoolcraft and save even more money. So, and again, those are all on our website. They get very, very specific. So let's say you want to be an engineering major at Michigan State, you can look it up. It's a document that's been signed by state and by Schoolcraft. It goes so detailed that it's a chart that says, you take this class and this class and this class at Schoolcraft. And then when you get to state, you have this left to do. Okay. Again, those are things that you're going to work with an academic advisor on. That's their job. That's their responsibility to help you to follow those. But just know that they're there, and so that the work has kind of been done for you. You don't have to worry that you'll be losing any money or any time while you're starting out at Schoolcraft. One of the things that we want to make sure that you know is that I think sometimes folks think that as a community college, you just kind of drive in, take your classes, and then you go home because there isn't a dorm, there's not a residence life component. But we feel that being involved on campus is a really important piece of your education. So there are a lot of pieces in place to make that a possibility for you at Schoolcraft. And we would encourage you to take advantage of as much of that as you have time for. We have many student clubs and organizations. Some of those are academic in nature. Some of those are career focused, classes like the Future Nurses Association or organizations like that. And some are just fun, like a campus activities group. Some of them are involved with community service. They do great community service within our community. We have groups that are more involved in the performing arts, like theater. We have a wonderful student newspaper, that's the Schoolcraft Connection. It's award-winning. They win national awards every year as part of their competition amongst the other colleges and universities in the country. So that's a great opportunity. And then we also have a wonderful fitness center that's free to all students, and it's very active. A lot of students find a way to get involved there. We have nationally ranked athletic teams. So if that's something you're interested in, there are lots of opportunities to get involved with that. And they're also really just fun to watch as well. Also, if you have an interest, and you don't see it, you can always start your own club. We have students who do that every year. And I have to say, all of that is it's a wonderful opportunity to meet other people, but it's also a great opportunity to build some leadership skills. It looks great on a resume. It looks great on an application to a four-year school. All right, so let's talk a little bit about paying for college. I mentioned that one of the reasons that students might choose a community college is because of the savings involved. So if you look at this chart here, the first time that I saw this, I have to say my jaw kind of hit the ground because it's a little bit staggering when you see it right here in black and white. A year at Schoolcraft is going to cost you around this much, so a little over $4,000 for a year of full-time study at Schoolcraft. If you compare that to some of our state schools, so like a Grand Valley or a U of M Dearborn, you're going to be running into the $13,000, $14,000 range per year. And this is just for tuition, guys. This does not include room and board. Room and board is several $1,000s on top of that. So even without room and board, you're already looking at saving it at least, you're about a third of the cost for most of the state schools. And then you compare that to a public school like Madonna. not picking on Medina. There's plenty of other private schools in the state where their tuition runs quite a bit higher. And again, that's without room and board. And why is that? If you were here in front of me, I'd open it up to discussion and I get all kinds of fun answers. But the truth is, it's not really that exciting or that glamorous. It just all comes down to tax dollars. As a community college, we get local tax dollars that our state schools don't get. And then the state schools get tax dollars that the private schools don't get. And so that's why we're able to keep our costs so low. Okay. So if you looked at starting at Schoolcraft and then transferring to a four-year school to finish up your bachelor's degree, during those first 2 years at Schoolcraft, you're going to save about $18,000 in tuition alone. And so then when you transfer on to the four-year school, then you're going to be paying the same amount that everyone else does. But when you get to the end goal, when all of you reach that bachelor's degree, you will have spent about $36,000, whereas your cohorts who started at the four-year school will have spent $54,000. That's on tuition alone. And you know what? Guess what? All of your degrees are going to say the same thing. They're all going to say, Michigan State or Grand Valley or whatever it is. So just something to keep in mind. There are a lot of factors to consider when you're choosing a college. Cost shouldn't be the only thing that you look at, but it should be a part of the puzzle. So just keep that in mind. All right. So what I always say to students is that, even though our tuition is a lot lower than the others, I can tell you that when I was sitting in your shoes, I started at a community college myself. When I was sitting in your shoes, it wouldn't really have mattered if you told me it was $4,000 or $40,000 because I didn't have any money. And so all of it was a lot for me. And I want you to know that I recognize that. It's still an investment. It's still a lot of money. There's a lot of data that shows that making that investment is worth it. You will earn more over your lifetime if you make this investment in your higher education. But there are ways to make sure that you can get that paid for. You start out with completing that FAFSA just like you would at any other school in the country. We do give out about $40 million in aid per year. So a lot of our students are receiving financial aid. We also have wonderful scholarship opportunities that you can compete for by filling out one scholarship application on our website. And then we also have great student employment opportunities too. So a lot of our students are working in the offices on our campus. They like to work in the fitness center. They like to work in our office, giving tours, those sorts of things. So lots of different ways to make sure that you can fund that education. Here's a few examples of the scholarships that we have. You can see that some of those get you to the point where they're almost half off your tuition just for the scholarships alone. So to apply for admission at Schoolcraft, there's no deadline. You can apply all the way up until classes start, but we do recommend that you start sooner rather than later. Our application is free. There's no essay. It takes you about 20 minutes to complete, and everyone is admitted typically within 48 hours. No minimum GPA, no minimum test scores, as a reminder. You will submit your transcripts and test scores if you have them. We simply use those to help you pick the first classes that you start with to kind of help you decide what English and what math levels you should start with. If you don't have SAT or ACT scores, we have our own placement test that you can take. And then from there, you have to attend new student orientation. You have to meet with an academic advisor, and then you're ready to register for classes. So that's how the process works. All right. So I tried to go through as quickly as I could so that we could save time for questions. What questions do you have for me?
You guys have any questions?
You can type them in the chat box too if it's more comfortable for you to type them.
Well, I do have a question regarding the real estate program that you guys offer. Now, does that allow you to be able to sit for your state licensing as a sales rep or broker?
It does not prepare the student for taking that exam. That exam is considered to be, it's not a prerequisite to the program, but we kind of encourage it if not before completing the program, then during the time that you're in the program. Because for folks who are interested in going into real estate property management, many of the employers, not all, but many of the employers want their employees to have that real estate license. It's not part of the program, but it's encouraged.
Okay, good deal. And then you have an EMT program?
We do, paramedic and EMT. It's been in place for a long time. Right now it's housed at Garden City. It will be moving to the main campus this fall in that new facility that I talked about. And yeah, it's a wonderful program. There's some flexibility. You can start out with just getting the certificate that takes you straight into the workforce, or you can get all the way up into the associate's degree to be able to kind of move, to be able to advance in the field.
And most of your certificates can be completed within a year's time?
Yes, yes, exactly. They're almost all designed to be within a year. There are some certificates that are even designed to be just a semester worth of full-time courses. So it kind of depends on the program that you're looking at. And the main difference between a certificate and the associate's degree is that the certificate, of course, it's shorter, but the reason that it's shorter is that it's all classes in the field. So for instance, a certificate in the EMT program is going to be just those EMT classes, just those classes that it's kind of nice for people who are, they want to just focus on what it is that they're interested in, as opposed to having to take, math and English and sciences and that sort of thing.
The liberal art classes.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. And then I did want to ask whether or not Schoolcraft has any type of university articulation agreements where your students can be a part of a specific university for their bachelor's portion of their study, but through the Schoolcraft campus, affording them a discount on the tuition. And okay, which universities do you have the agreement with?
We have, so Wayne State is the big one. Wayne State is who we have the most programs with. And so they actually offer, just like you're saying, Wayne State offers classes on our campus, on the Schoolcraft campus. And I think that there are 6 majors maybe now that you can finish completely on our campus: social work, a couple of business programs, but they're taught by Wayne State faculty. And when you complete those classes, you do have a bachelor's degree from Wayne State. They also allow for students to take beyond the typical 2 years that you can take of community college level coursework. So that allows you to save even more money. So, and those are really specific, really detailed. And, one of those things that I was talking about where there are a lot of people involved who their whole job is making sure that articulation agreement is in place and that it works seamlessly for our students. But so we have Wayne State, Ferris has a few programs, Davenport has a few programs. So there are some choices. And then I should also point out that we do offer one bachelor's degree ourselves. Schoolcraft offers one bachelor's degree, and that's in the culinary arts program. So if you're interested in pursuing a bachelor's degree in culinary arts, that's something that you can do completely at Schoolcraft.
Good deal. You guys are world famous for your culinary department.
They are something. They're really, I always say they're our glamour program. They bring glam. they
Your
do
program,
great things.
your culinary program is the program that other community college aspired to be like.
Thanks. That's nice to say. We have great faculty. We have more master chefs on our staff than any other at this point than any other school in the country. So it's really kind of, yeah, you really are very well prepared when you leave our culinary program. And even if you're not interested in culinary arts, just being on the Schoolcraft campus and having those culinary students around is a really nice thing, because we get to take advantage of it. There are three different restaurant locations on our campus that are the food is prepared by the culinary students. So it's a pretty nice perk.
Good deal. A lot of our students, they aspire to be chefs and want to go into various culinary programs. And I always recommend Schoolcraft as the premier culinary school. They say, oh, what about, Johnson and Johnson and La Cordon Bleu? I'm like, you know what? Let me just tell you a secret that we have here in Michigan. It's called
Yeah, the truth.
Schoolcraft College, and I promise you, um, earning your culinary degree from them will put you in that same classification as those schools that are touted as being, you know, the place to be.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. They've done good things and saved a lot of money in the process too. We are able to offer at a lot more affordable rate than those private schools for sure.
Good deal. So, do you guys have any more questions? If not, we're going to wrap up. All right. Well, thank you so much, Angela, for your time. It was a pleasure having you. Um, awesome presentation. I know you guys learned a lot of information. I know I did. And I want to thank you guys for attending. And thank you again, Angela, for
Thank
giving us your time and sharing about Schoolcraft.
you bet. Thank you. Super
Thank
happy to
you,
be
guys.
here. Feel free to call guys or email if you have any questions at all.
Good deal. Thanks so much.
You
Bye, you guys. Well, that's all we have for today. Again, we had Schoolcraft College out, and they have some wonderful programs. Um, go on their website, www.schoolcraft.edu, and you'll be able to look up any of the information about their programs. They've got some excellent rates for tuition and opportunities that are available. Check them out, take advantage of it. Again, you want to receive your education as debt free as you possibly can. Again, my name is Tony Curitan, and thank you for joining me on College and Career Pathways. And if you need any assistance or any resources, please feel free to contact me. My number is 586-842-0558. My extension is 312, and my email address is tonic@atsedu.net. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. Have a great day.